This is part 2 of payroll management software. In this video, we'll discuss how to create menu item in payroll management main form, and we'll create your user register form. Okay, here select menu item. Here change this text user. Inside that we have submenu user register, and then we have one more change password screen. Okay, here we'll create one folder user d. Okay, inside this add new form user register. Sorry, form name will be user register. Click add. Here change this text to form user register. Go to SQL Server Management Studio. In user table, we have name, email, username, password, role, date of birth, and address field. Totally, we have 7 fields. Now we have to design this user register form as per our requirement. I have designed this user register form. I used labels and text boxes, date picker for date of birth, and a combo box for role. Here I used a multi-line text box, and I used 3 buttons: save, update, and delete. And I used a data grid view. In the data grid view, I have columns, serial name. I given name for each columns like a DG name, DG serial number, DG date of birth, and so like that. Yeah, the text box name also text name text username like that I made. Okay, now password text box we have to set password character, then only it show the symbols for each character. Here we have password character. um, I put asterisk symbol. Okay, then in date of birth, the date picker format we have to change. Go to properties. Here format custom, change custom format here. First, I want to display day, and then month, and then year. Okay. Now we want to call this function form from form main. In menu user register, double click here. Here inside this user folder, we have form user register. Its object will be a form equal to new, then form dot mdi parent equals this. This form will be mdi parent. Then form start position will be center screen. Then we are showing the form. Save this and let's check how it works. Start the application. Here we have to give username, password. Admin password will be admin123. Then click login. Here we have the main form. Click user menu, user register. Now user register form is working fine. Okay, close the application. See here, if I click a close button in the main form, it closed. We want to ask confirmation from the user before exiting the application. Okay, for that, here see here the program is still running. We want to change this. Here in main form, go to events here, form closing. Okay, double click here. Inside this, I paste this code. When you are closing the main form, first it will ask the message confirmation message. Are you sure you want to exit? The message title will be exist. Here we have yes no buttons. If we click yes, the application will exit. If click no, the application still run. Okay, message box icon will be question. Okay, if dialog result is yes means application will get exit, else e dot cancel equals true. Okay, let's check this. Start the application. Here, whenever we are running, we have to give the username and the password. So in login form, I give username password. And- Okay, no need to enter username password at every time. Click login. Just close the application here. It will ask the confirmation message. Are you sure you want to exit? If we click no, still it's running. If we click yes, this application will get exist. Let's check. Click yes button. It's asking two times. Okay. For that we have to add bool variable bool close equals true. Here when dialog result is yes, we are assigning this bool variable false. Okay, let's check this. Click login. Click yes button. So it's not working. Here if close, that means if close variable true, then only this part will execute. Okay, save this. Click the close button. Click yes. So it's working fine now. Now we have to add key down event for these text boxes. Here select this text box. Go to event. Here key down event. In this text box, if I enter something, then if I press enter key, then it should focus on username like that. Then I press enter, it should focus on password. Here we give condition. If text box length is greater than 0 means it should focus on another text box. Like that we will write code here. If e dot key code equals keys dot enter, if text name dot text length greater than 0, then it should focus on text username. Text username dot focus, else it should focus on text name itself. Let's check this. Start the application. Here click login. Go to user register screen. Here by default it's focus in address text box. We have to change that to if I enter some text in name text box, if I press enter key, it focus on username. Okay, I remove the text in name. Okay, now Gazar is in name text box. If I press enter, it's in name text box itself because the text box length is 0. Now, here, now by default, the Gazar should focus on name text box. For that, in this user register load event, this dot active control equals text name. Okay, let's check this. Now you can see by default the cursor focus on name text box. Okay. Now we have written key down given for text name only. So we have to write a username, password, email, date of birth, and role. Okay. I have written key down given for remaining text boxes. Okay. Now In a role combo box, we have to add items. So click this small button here, edit items. Here administrate admin and then super admin, then user. You can add many items here. Click OK. Then run the application. User register screen. Here, see here, update and delete button is enabled. Okay, we don't want this. So we have to disable that. And in combo box, we have three items: admin, super admin, and user. Okay. In the load event, button update dot enable false, button delete dot enabled false. Now let's create a clear function for this application. Private void clear data. Here we are clearing the text boxes, text box, text name, username, password, email address, and the combo box selected index will be -1. Here we are enabling false button update and delete, and the button save dot enabled true. Here date temp DTP date of birth. This date temp picker value is current date. Okay. Now we will create validation function for this form. Here we will create a mandatory field like that. Okay, let's start. Private. Its return type will be bool. Function name will be validation. Okay, before that we need to add tool error provider. Okay, then inside this I will add this code here. First I declaring a bool variable result as I set to false. First I am checking the text name dot text. If the name text, okay, is the text is null or empty means it show a error message name required. If text username text box is null or empty means it show a error message username required. Like that password. In password we set minimum 4 characters. If less than 3 means it will show you the error message minimum 4 character required. And then email, then a role. Select here we have to select the role. Okay, and finally we are returning the result which is of type bool variable. Okay, in this form we need one more validation, that is before inserting new record or updating the record. First we have to check the database whether this record data is already exist or not. Then only we can update the record. If already exist means we have to show the message to the user. Okay, for that I will add this code. Here I will create the function private which is return type bool. Function name will be if username exists. Here we have two parameters. First parameter will be SQL connection. We are connecting the SQL connection here. Adding this code. Here private which is return type of bool. If function name will be if username exists. Here we are passing the username. First we are connecting the SQL connection by using this public connection class which we have created in our previous video part 1. Then here we are fetching the data. Select one from user table where username will be this parameter username. If data we are filling that fetch the data into data table object dt. If dt.rows.count greater than 0 means it will return true, else it return false. Okay, now we will write code for this save button. Double click this. Inside this if validation we are calling the validation function. If it returns true, that result is true means we will insert the record here inside this. Before, we have to check the record if already exists or not. For that, we will call this function if user exists. Inside this, we have to pass this string username. That will be this username text box value. Okay, here text username dot text. Okay, if record already exists means we will show the message box dot show. Inside this, we will write message username already exists. If else, we will do the insert operation. For that, in SQL Server, here mini payroll, right click new query. This is the shortcut method. Right click design query in editor. Here select user table, add, then close. Here right click change type into insert values. Okay, here select the column names. Okay, copy this one and go to Visual Studio. Here we have to first call the connection SQL connection. con equal to new connection. For insert operation, we will call the data send method. Inside that, we will pass the SQL query. Within double quote, we have to pass this SQL query. Okay, make it single line. Inside this values bracket, we have to assign values for each column names. Okay, for name, inside this within single quote, within double quote, add to plus button. Inside this text name dot text. Okay, second will be email, text email dot text. Third one is username, text username dot text. Fourth one is password, text password. Then we have role column, cmb role dot text. Finally, we have date of birth and address. For date of birth, dtp date of birth value dot toString. Inside that, we have to pass like this: first month, then date, and then year. Finally, address, text address dot text. Okay. After inserting new record, we have to show the message box dot show within double quote record saved successfully. After inserting data, we have to clear the text box. For that, call this clear data function which we have created in before. Clear data. Okay, save this and we will check now. Start the application. There is error. One extra bracket is there. Okay, save this. Login. Go to user register screen. Name will be Suresh. Then username will be Suresh. Password 1234. Address Vellore, Tamil Nadu. Then email will be suresh@gmail.com. Then date of birth, role. See here in this role drop down we can enter. So that's not we want. We want to change that to drop down style. Okay, here we can select super admin. Then save the record. Here we have the message record saved successfully. Click OK. Um, Now data is cleared. Okay, it's working fine. But after inserting the record, we have to display the inserted record into this data grid view. Okay, now we will check it in SQL Server. Here right click, edit top. Here we have the record with the name Suresh. Already manually added one data with the username admin. Okay, now successfully we inserted record into this user table. Okay, now we will display this inserted record in that grid view. For that we will write code now. Before that we have to make some changes for drop down. Here go to properties. Here drop down style is there. Change this to drop down list so it will display the list of items in that combo box. Okay, now in save button, this message box, it should be inside this else spot. Okay, then we have one more changes. We calling this connection function before we are using the SQL query. So I will be using this connection here. So no need to use in every operations. Okay, it will work now. Okay, let's check. Start the application. Login, user register. Here, without entering the data, if I click save button, it will show you the error message, name required. So I enter name here, Robert. Then click save. It asks username. So username will be Robert. Then click save. So it now it's in password. If I enter only 2 character, click save. Now we have password minimum 4 character required. Okay, I entered 5 characters. Okay, then I entered some text and address text box. Then I click save. It asks for email. Okay, this is how validation function works. Okay, now we want to select the role option. Okay, then click save button. So record saved successfully. Here execute this command. Now we have data for this robot. Okay, now we will write the code for this load data. It's very easy only. Here private void load data. Inside that we will call data get method. Within double quote select star from table name will be user. Okay, then we create a data table object dt equal to new data table. Inside that con.sd fill dt. Here we are filling the data table object. Here we will add for each class. Inside that data row in dt dot rows. Inside that I will add this code. This means first we are creating an integer variable n. Then we are assigning each variable values to the data grid view values. Here first DG serial number that's not belong to our database table. So data grid view rows index will be starts from 0. So we are giving n plus 1 means first row will be 1, second row serial number will be 2, like that it will add. Then we are displaying the name, date of birth. Here date of birth will be we are converting to date time. In this format we will display day, month, year. Then we are assigning email, username and role, and then finally we are assigning address value. Okay, after inserting new record we have to load that data. In form load event I added load data function. Okay, start the application, click login, user register. Now it loads so data from the data table user. Okay. Okay guys, in our next video we'll discuss how to update user data and delete the user details. Okay, thank you for watching this.